from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello and welcome to the National News broadcast, coming to you live from the revamped National News Studio here at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Tilino Deratna together with Sharon Mascrinius.
The National Newsroom, which performs a national responsibility, commences its operations. All volumes, including the evidence records of the Easter attacks, submitted to Parliament. The true story of organic cultivations revealed. Another 200 refurbished buses added to the fleet. Sri Lanka Army is in a new operation. A book for twins by twins launched. A Guinness record established by laying on iron nails. Russian forces enter eastern Ukraine. World oil prices increase with the move.
For starters, we take a look at some local stories. For countless years, Sri Lanka Rupavahini has brought to your home the best of news. And today, we embark on a brand new journey with a new face, new identity as this.
Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation brought news over decades with high responsibility as well as with high viewer attraction. From today, we are prepared to bring you news more closely with new technology. Here's what's in store. The aim of the new change is to make Rupavahini News Bulletin our own news bulletin which speaks people's problems by changing the content and the lineup while maintaining the responsibility and balance. We are prepared to open space for government and opposition political voice with hot incidents of the day covering economic, social, cultural, foreign, sports and all other fields. National television is prepared for digital broadcasting soon. From today, we present national news from a new studio with a modern technology and a mega set design. All this was done with the contribution of the staff of the Rupavahini Corporation. Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, which go after true news reporting, requests you to continuously stay with us.
Well, with this cutting-edge technology coming to us here at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation and with this brand new identity and new face, new look, this is what global media institutions had to say about Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation's brand new studio.
Global media institutions have extended their congratulatory wishes on the new change as well as the 40th anniversary of the national television. The largest media agency in the Asia region, Japan's NHK Broadcasting Company and China Central Television Service has extended their wishes. NHK Broadcasting Company, which is the national television of Japan, was established in the year 1924. The agency, which consists of more than 20 sub-institutions, manage broadcasting agencies in 31 countries across the world.
Congratulations to SLRC from NHK Tokyo. I am Ryuta. I'm in charge of NHK's news executive desk. Then I'd like to introduce you a special guest, Daisuke. Some of you may remember him.
Thank you, Yuta. Congratulations to 40th anniversary of SLRC. In 2014, 8 years ago, our Prime Minister visited Sri Lanka. We received your live coverage of welcome ceremony from AsiaSat. Thank you for your continued support.
Okay, once again, congrats to SLRC and thank you for your continued support to NHK and continued contribution to NHK via Asia Vision. Thank you very much.
Established in 1958, China Central Television currently engages in broadcasting across 50 countries in the world. China Central Television and the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation also maintains close ties.
Chairman of China Central News Agency and Chief Executive of China Global Television Network Teng Yangping extended his wishes to the national television on behalf of the network, especially for its 40th anniversary. He added it is also significant that both the nations celebrate 65 years of diplomatic ties in the year 2022. He further said that the China Global Television Network is expected to work closely with the national television in future.
Well, in other news, all volumes, including the final report of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry on the Easter Sunday attacks and related witnesses' records have been submitted to the Parliament. Today, the complete report of the Commission, including the evidence records consisting of 88 volumes, was discussed. The complete Commission report was handed over to Speak Mahinda Yaba Abewardena by the Director General of Legal Affairs of the Presidential Secretariat Harigupta Rohanadira. The final report was handed over to the Parliament on the 23rd of April last year, but witness records handed over and not issued based on legal reasons were in fact taken up. The relevant report was handed over to the Parliament on the instructions of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, as the findings of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry should be communicated to the public and for further perusal by the members of the Parliament.
Meanwhile, in other stories, 200 buses which were taken out of service due to dilapidation were repaired and re-added to the passenger transportation today. The event was held under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Presidential Secretariat premises this morning. The importation of buses was also suspended along with the restriction on the importation of vehicles. Accordingly, steps were taken to repair the dilapidated buses as a solution to the shortage of buses and in order to save foreign exchange. Under the first phase of the project, 273 buses were repaired and added to the bus fleet in December 2020. Under the second phase, 200 buses that were completely out of service at 107 depots across the country were repaired at a cost of 136 million rupees. The project was implemented based on a concept of State Minister Dilum Amanugama and under the guidance of Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi. The project is being carried out by Sri Lanka Transport Board Depot and the Lakdiva Engineering Company with the full support of the Sri Lanka Public Transport Employees Union. The President inspected the standard of the buses, engaged in conversation with the SLTB employees and encouraged them. Secretary to the President Gamini Senarath, Principal Advisor to the President Lalit Veeratunga and Chairman of the Sri Lanka Transport Board Kingsley Ranawaka were also present at the occasion.
Well, it seems that there were quite a number of unprecedented farmer protests and agitations reported from various parts of the island today, stating that cultivations are getting destroyed by giving organic fertilizer instead of chemical fertilizer for the Yalla season. Harvesting of the Yalla season, in fact, has commenced today. The aim of implementing organic cultivations is to create an agriculture without toxins in the country. Under the Vistas of Prosperity program, farmers were provided with necessary guidance, organic and liquid fertilizer. However, certain media highlighted that farmers are rejecting organic agriculture since they're used to chemical fertilizer. Those media reports discouraged even farmers who have taken to organic agriculture. However, many farmers experimented with the new methodology. The National Fertilizer Secretariat, the Agricultural Department and the Agrarian Services Centres are providing advice and guidance for organic cultivations. Farmers in many areas say that they are getting a successful harvest through organic paddy cultivation. The government has commenced the purchase of paddy under a special program. Accordingly, the farmers get a guaranteed price for their harvest. A kilogram of Nadu paddy is purchased for 90 rupees, while a kilogram of Samba paddy for 90 rupees and a kilogram of Kiri Samba for 95 rupees. Apart from that, each farmer is given a transport cost of 2 rupees for each kilogram of paddy. The Paddy Marketing Board believes that it will be able to purchase about 300,000 metric tons of paddy this time. The farmers who received successful results hope to use organic fertilizer for other crops as well in the future.
In other stories for you, opposition leader Sajid Premadasa expressed his views about media freedom in Parliament today. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that there is an increase of threats to journalists and freedom of expression during the recent past using official and unofficial methods of the government.
රජයේ නිල හා නොනිල හස්තයන් උපයෝගී කරගන්න මාධ්‍යවේදීන්ටත් වාශනීය නිදහසටත් සිදු කරන තර්ජනවල වැඩිවීමක් පහුගිය කාල සීමාවේ දකින්නට ලැබෙනවා. ඔබතුමා කිව්වා මේ අපරාධ
Minister Sarath Veerasekara said that the statement of opposition leader Sajid Premadasa cannot be accepted and totally false. Minister Veerasekara said that he regretted the statement made targeting Geneva Human Rights Commission sessions.
Well, MP Gantha Karunatilaka had his views to say at the Parliament today regarding the expressways currently in operation in Sri Lanka. MP Gantha Karunatilaka said that they do not oppose expressways, but there is a problem at present along with the problems faced by the people under present circumstances. Minister Johnston Fernando said that expressways were introduced to the country and completed constructions of them were completed during the time of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa when he was the president. There are economic problems, but the development activities of the country have not been stopped. The 100,000 work program has commenced and the finance minister has already allocated funds for that. The president has brought down all vaccine doses needed for and by the people to protect their lives.
Dr. B. Wijeyaratne assumed duties as the new Director General of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation today. A ceremony to welcome Dr. B. Wijeyaratne took place this morning at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation with the participation of Chairman Sonala Gunawardana, officials and the staff. He has followed his primary education at Udathu Tiripitiya Primary School, secondary education at Yakkala Anura Mahavidyalaya. He obtained Bachelor of Public Administration special degree from Sri Jayawardhanapura University. He has obtained the Master's degree in Public Administration in the same university and received the doctorate from Honolulu University of the US. He has worked at several institutions including the Ministries of Economic Development, Youth Affairs and Skills Development and Agriculture. Dr. B. Wijeyaratne is also a board member of the National Institute of Education and Electricity Board. Director General of the SLRC, Dr. B. Wijeyaratne said that today is a special day. We should attempt to further develop what was there and to add new aspects. Chairman of the SLRC, Sonal Gunawardana, said that everyone has the responsibility to build the institution. He said that he is aware that everyone in the organisation has committed themselves to perform their duties. We have to build the organisation and it can be done.
Well, in other news, it seems that the Sri Lanka Army's efforts to locally manufacture electrical and mechanical engineering vehicle, which actually shows the might of the Sri Lanka Army, is currently in good place. And also, the Army producing vehicles needed by the Army is a concept of the present Army commander. The Army has displayed its ability to plan and produce fighting vehicles suitable for Sri Lanka's land. It has become successful in producing armoured vehicles suitable for geographical differences for Sri Lanka troops who are in peacekeeping operations in other countries. Another aim of the project is to maintain vehicle brands and reserves for the Army. Unicorn vehicles, which have been imported during humanitarian operations and taken out of operation, and chassis numbers of other armoured vehicles are used to manufacture those vehicles. Accordingly, the Army has taken steps to identify each such vehicle under the brand name Uni Amov, Uni Cob and Uni Avalon. Armoured vehicles are taking place at the Udawalawa and Katubedda base workshops of the Sri Lanka Electrical and Mechanical Engineering Corps, and Uni Cob is the anti-mine armoured vehicle.
In other stories, State Minister Channa Jayasumana says that the country will return to normalcy after the daily number of booster vaccine recipients in the country exceeds the 100,000 mark. State Minister Channa Jayasumana said that nearly 60,000 have received the booster dose for a day during the past week. However, it is not sufficient. The support received from the people is not enough. If 75% of the people had taken the third dose, there would not have been a requirement to impose strict restrictions.
And in other news, the government expects to produce 80% of the local requirement of medicinal drugs in the country within the next 2 years. State Minister Professor Channa Jayasumana mentioned this that at the ceremony to sign agreements with the investments to launch factories in Anuradhapura, Oyamaduwa and Suwasiripura pharmaceutical manufacturing zones. 21 local investors have invested in the pharmaceutical manufacturing zone. It is being implemented under the supervision of the State Ministry of Pharmaceutical Production, Supplies and Regulations. The aim is to save billions of rupees paid to foreign countries by producing high-quality medicine in the country. It will generate 2,000 direct employment opportunities and about 5,000 indirect jobs. 50% of the imported medicine is expected to be produced in the new industrial zone by 2024.
The Attorney General requested Supreme Court to dismiss without hearing the petition fled against transferring 40% shares of the Kerawala-Pittiya Yugadhanami Power Plant Company to the US company, as the petitions are without a legal basis. Attorney General Sanjay Rajaratnam made the submissions when the petitions were considered today. The petition was considered before a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court. The shares have been transferred to New Fortress Energy Company in the US. The Attorney General said that it has a commercial transaction and only 40% of the power plant company has been transferred. He said that the proper procedure has been followed and the cabinet approval has been obtained. The Attorney General said that the 4 petitions have been filed after 1 month of signing the agreement. He said that according to the 126th clause of the Constitution, Court has no power to consider the petitions. Further considering the petitions were postponed until tomorrow.
Well, today is quite a special day, Sharon, because today is the 22nd of February 2022, which reads as 22/2/2022. And today is a special day because we had a special book launch here in Sri Lanka titled Twins. All those who came for the ceremony were twins. The book was presented to the chairperson of the Sri Lanka Twins Association, Upuli Gamage. It was launched as a social science research book. More than 100 twin members attended the function. The book has been compiled by senior journalist Sarath Lal Kumara.
Well, that's the wrap of today's Rupavahini news for today. We'd like to thank you all for joining us from our brand new lineup and our brand new news studio. We're truly excited to be back at Studio 2 together with Mr. Prasad Dorangorage, Tilino De Ratna. I'm Sharon Mascarenhas, inviting you to join us tomorrow at 8:50 p.m. here on the national channel Rupavahini.